Hey, good morning. So I decided, since I've been working so hard lately, I am almost completely caught up with laundry. Did the floors, caught up on dishes, got several different handymen coming in to do different things because I want it all done at once, which it was so hard to find a handyman. So by the time I'd get one on the line, then for some reason he would fall through. So this time I have 3 handymen coming, each doing different things. So if one of them falls through, I'll add it to the other one's list. So, I've been working on getting coordinated to do my taxes, which with my dyslexia and my anxiety with focusing on something I don't enjoy, like numbers, because I'm so apt to turn them around. Very stressful for me. And I'm already overpaying to do my simple taxes. I do not have hard taxes to do. So it's the least I can do is add up the different columns to hand it over to my tax guy. So I decided to sleep in late and be luxurious. And then, change my bed. So, you know this has happened before, so why am I this upset, right? So here comes my dog from being out in the mud. Usually when it's muddy, I put up a gate so the dogs aren't coming in and out of the house. It's common sense, right? Well, for someone else in the household who is not apparently able to be trained, I keep having these expectations that he'll catch on. And it's not his fault. He would do better if he could. So I feel incensed because now there's mud clods all over the floor, all over the sofa, all over my bed. And I'm just... I'm laughing at myself because it's just... On the inside, I'm going nuts. The only reason I look this calm is because I'm not allowing myself to scream. I really want to scream. I really want to scream. I've worked so hard to get caught up so I could just have a day off of just gentle folding, watching TV. And I started my little relaxation last night with a nice long hot bath. I just felt so good about everything I got done. It feels so... It's not... I know it's not personal. It's what... Some humans aren't born with the capacity, or they've had an accident, TBI, things like that. I get it. But God, sometimes it feels so personal. Oh. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I was doing some reading. I'm preparing. I keep putting up reading, just in the first few pages. It's like 56 pages. Nah, it's a little more than that. It's 174, but I'm on page 56 right now, looking at this book. And so what I had decided to do a while back is I'm going to do everything I can to not lose my mind, to keep my blood pressure under control. This eczema that popped up this last year, heart issues, I don't need any more of that. That's all got worked out for some reason, just divine intervention, I guess. And I guess I have to start taking my allergy pills again because my sinuses lose equilibrium and I get a little dizzy. And I thought it had something to do with my blood pressure, but I think it's the sinus equilibrium thing. So here's the thing though. When you're in a stressful situation and you have little aches and pains, or you have little burps, even gurgles in your tummy, sometimes the brain says, what's wrong with me? Because the first thing that the brain goes to is what's wrong with me. And that's kind of why I wanted to get on here today when I really have a big mess to clean up, and the last thing I need to do is embarrass myself on the internet because I'm going crazy. So I'm going through the book and I'm feeling so enraged in the inside. It's between wanting to scream my jaws off my face, crying, and packing my shit and leaving. I couldn't find anything. So what I did was I realized out of this book, which I know is quite brilliant, I can't find anything. No, why not? Because I'm so mad I can't see straight. I'm so mad I don't care. I want to throw a temper tantrum. I'm so mad I want to throw a temper tantrum. I want to scream. But here's the thing. A lot of people are taught or encouraged even by psychotherapists to see, I'm calming down now. I'm calming down. I can feel it. Because I did find a couple things just before I got on. And I read just enough to go, oh, I get it. 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 I have to outweigh my desire to just pull my face off and beat him with it. My own arms. Just, I mean, the rage, insanity. I've been practicing this for a long time. It's hard on my body sometimes, but I'm not young anymore either. If you start this younger, it's so much more helpful. But look, I was able to read just enough to remind me of who I am and what I'm capable of. That means I am capable of blowing up my life, not taking in any consideration of anyone else's feelings. Do I want to continue being that person? No, I don't. Wow, look how my body's tense still a little bit. Right in here, it's the muscles all in that chest. I used to carry all my stress in my neck and lower back, but Now that I'm older, it's getting in my chest area. I love yummy coffee and teas. Okay, so I'm gonna share this with you. I have to want the new life I've created for myself, the new lifestyle I've created for myself, more than I want to rage, more than I want to run out of the house and never come back, more than I want to drink alcohol, more than I want to go off and start some kind of crazy relationship and behave badly, which looks really bad on a 62-year-old. So here's what I read here on page 56. Well, it says a valuable value system, hand in hand with coming to love yourself, is coming to value yourself. Discovering your self-worth. The late psychologist Virginia Satir, author of The Conjoint Family Therapy, developed a list of personality styles that tells us a great deal about how different types of people view themselves in terms of self-esteem. Can you identify with any of these styles? 1, the placater. I'm worthless, you're worthy. The blamer. I'm worthy, you're worthless. The calculator says, I'm not worthy, but you're not worthy either. This person believes that all people should sacrifice themselves to a cause or circumstance. The distractor. Nothing is worth anything. Distractors never share themselves because basically they feel unworthy. When distractors are fat, they will often say, what's the use? So fat, drunk, poor, lazy, whatever. The actualizer, conversely, has a value system that's useful. The actualizer says everything has worth. Most of us are overweight or have some addiction. Most of us just aren't there yet. We are working toward becoming actualizers. We share feelings and support each other. So, the blamer, I'm worthy, you're worthless. This person is an attacker, always accusing others of being at fault. He or she is a finger pointer. The blamer says, my mother made me fat even after being responsible for his or her own eating for 20 years. Yeah. See, a lot of us are combinations of these things. And one of the things I can do is be a blamer. It's like when I get in my drunkenness, for me, it's not alcohol anymore. For me, it's when I get angry, I about lose my mind, as if I'm drunk. Ooh, so to be able to stronghold myself. And you know what? I talk to clients about this often. People say, well, my last therapist told me to go to a rage room and break things, or I'm supposed to punch my pillow, or I'm supposed to share my feelings. I should be able to be me. And the thing is, as they're saying it, they're getting so worked up and angry that what's happening is they just keep revisiting those old roads and building more ruts in the roads. That's what neural pathways are like. So for me, because I was self-will run riot for so many years, and I had therapists that felt sorry for me because if I told them my story at all, and I tried not to tell them too much because then you can tell some people just don't need to hear the gory stuff. I get that. So they would just be like, oh my God, you need this and you need that. You don't want anybody to ever tell you what to do again or control you. And oh my gosh, all the savior complex stuff. I gotta tell you, it just doesn't work for people who have strong personalities. Because what happens is, then it gives this already strong personality the right to the self-righteous anger they've had all their life. I had a childhood that, oh my gosh, yes, I can blame a lot on my childhood and young adulthood because of how my neural pathways ended up getting trained. And I had sympathy from therapists. So I didn't have the training to stop thought, change thought. I didn't have the, what would be considered now EMDR training, which if I had gone Native American, which I had no clue, they've been doing these same practices since recorded history to be able to resolve anxiety, depression, sadness, whatever. Some native tribes really had it going on, or take a little bit of this one and a little bit of that one, like any cultures. But they had the way back when they had the sweat lodges for men to share their hunting stories. They had the women sewing circles and etc. If someone had deep trauma, they had a vision quest where they would go, which was basically, you know, fasting and walking, looking at nature from side to side and thinking about the trauma as it came up. Well, this looking, you find your walk. When I did this, it was pretty impressive, and it works so fast. Also tapping, when you tap your body, this stuff has been around a long time, and now, you know, and there for a while people were really trying to make big money off of it, with these fancy machines and stuff. But what you do is you find a walk pace that's just right for you. And mine is about like this. You relax your arms, look and breathe where you're at, make sure it's somewhere safe. And then, as if you're just looking over the countryside, so to speak, you find a comfortable space to the left and to the right and get that in rhythm, and decide how far out, left and right. Like mine, I have to look far out. Mine is probably, I never measured it, but it's probably a comfortable place for me to look left or right. It's probably about 3 houses down. If you live in an average neighborhood, it's just very comfortable for me to look left to right. It doesn't make me dizzy. It doesn't mess with my steps or my pace. It's a nice pace. So I'm walking, breathing, looking at the scenery left to right. And then I can start thinking about whatever it is that's really making me mad. Now, I've done this enough times that, look at me. It's only taken me about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. No, I'm thinking of 20 minutes. Let me look. Yep, I'm coming in on 20 minutes. I'm being on here. And I was so mad when I got on here. I think I had, let's see, I walked through the house. I walked outside because I wanted to say something. And thank goodness the opportunity wasn't there. So I didn't embarrass myself in front of anybody. Oh my God. It's been a long time since I embarrassed myself in front of anybody, but I still have the potential. So, I mean, it was less than 5 minutes before I got on here. But when I remember who I am and what my project is, my project, I'm working on it. And that is for me to be a calmer, more thoughtful person. Not thoughtful of other people, thoughtful of think before I do and say things that aren't worthy of me, not worthy of the lifestyle I want to have. There's no way in hell I want to leave my life. None. So for me to even entertain those kind of thoughts, well, that's insanity for me. It's a waste of time. And it makes it easier to go there whenever I lose my temper. So when I'm able to force myself to stop thought, change thought, stop thought, no thought. See, this is the stop thought, change thought. Forcing myself to read words, whether I want to or not. I didn't want to, but I forced myself. People think therapy's so freaking easy that they should have a nice, sweet therapist to tell them, oh, you're doing so. I give compliments only when my clients are doing good. I don't give it to encourage them to be good. You know why? Because the brain knows when somebody's lying to you. The brain knows. So when I give a compliment to someone who's had trauma, I have to, they'll call you on it. Very often people call you, oh, really? I'm doing good? In what way am I doing good? Or, oh, you're just saying that. People actually say that when they've been traumatized. They're paying you to be honest with them. And they're sick and tired of having butt-kissing therapists. It's true. That's true. So, when I give a compliment, I have to back it up. I have to already know that before I give the compliment. That's right. I don't care if it's for a cookie. Someone gives you a cookie, I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. Really? Why are you saying that? And I need to be able to tell them, well, I don't know what kind of butter you're using it, but this is the smoothest flavor I have had in I don't know how long. And the balance between flour and sugar is just the right combination for me. I love it. See, I have to have something. I have to be able to. I have to be able to know what I'm talking about. So when I calm down, now later today, I'll be able to say, hey, I'm really trying to incorporate those baby gates when it's muddy out. Would you please help me? And I'll say it again and again and again because it's better than packing up my stuff and moving or making a stand and kicking someone out of my home. Why would I do that? Over a messy bed and floor. Why would I blow up my life? There's not enough going on for me to do that. But see, that's where my brain will go. So I want you to understand that you might have certain feelings, but if you're not ready to change your address, you may need to change your attitude. Now, I did lock my poor dog out of the house, and I hear him out there barking. But he's not being too bad. My chest is starting to release. Yep. So it's been 26 minutes. Not too shabby, huh? If it helps you, if you lose your temper, remember that there's a lot more than your right to lose your temper going on. A lot more. There's a lot of brain activity going on, lighting up and firing. A lot of neural pathways being visited, created, or engraved. There's a lot of brain chemicals, hormones, and such that are now being triggered to be excreted into the rest of your body, causing tension in certain parts of your body. Might even be causing constipation or diarrhea. It's causing muscle contractions in different parts of your body, depending on your personal MO. People's bodies usually react in certain ways. One of maybe 10 different ways. Okay, how does this... Oh, where's my other pencil? I had like that crayon pencil. I didn't find it when I was sweeping. I couldn't be on the floor. Oh no, I didn't want to lose it. I don't know where it's at, kid. So I'll just have to... These don't last very long. These LA Precise markers, I was looking it up on Amazon, looking at the reviews, and they're right. They don't last very long. I had to order another eyeliner already. But I don't know why. This one's in black. So my next one is in brown. But my new color crayon eyeliner, that was in brown. I was really enjoying that. I don't know where it is. Aw, see? Look at this. My voice is softer. That animal rage is gone. And my life is still intact. Is my life perfect? No. But do I like my life? Yes. Yes. But I can come across like I hate it, hate it, hate it. And I've worked a long, hard time to be able to appreciate what I have and not feel a victim and blame others for my life not being perfect. I'm too old to blow up my life. Unless I won the lottery. If I won the lottery, yeah. I know. I don't think about stuff like that. I think that's the first time I've ever thought about something like that. That's funny. All right. How are y'all doing? I hope if you ever have trouble with your temper, that you're able to use what I went through today to help you. because it really is such a relief to get on the other side of a temper tantrum. Do I still have mud to clean up? Yes. Am I still unhappy that I have to do that? Yes. Is there anyone else to do it? No. No, there isn't. I can just do my bed and leave the rest of the mud on the floor and let the housekeeper get it in, I don't know, when she coming back. 10 days. But that would give me the EBGBs. I don't like you know what I did? I probably have 500 of them now, but I bought a bunch of those Swiffer pads from Temu. So I just Swiffer all the time. And sometimes I'll put vinegar water, spray it on there. They're cheap. They're nothing like the originals. Cheap, cheap, cheap. But they work. They're better than paper towels. That's true. Oh, look. My temperature is down. Woo! That was awesome. Thank you for going on the wild ride with me. There for a minute, I even thought, oh, I am not posting this. I'm deleting it. And then I was thinking, you know, I think there are people who, honestly, if they could just see somebody go from raging. Now, that wasn't raging like I did in my 30s and 40s. Maybe even a couple times in my 50s. I've blown up my life several times with people companies I was working for, or romantic relationships, or friendships, where I just feel so offended that I blow things up. If there were more people who talked about what was real, instead of make it look so easy and sound so nice, and they have like these little steps you have to do, it's like, kind of like, screw you. Have you ever felt the power of the rage and the anger and the passionate desire to prove a point? Well, and that little dramatization was just very soft. If you're people like me. And some people don't do it outwardly like I used to. They do it inwardly. And they're having heart attacks, strokes, diarrhea, constipation, aches and pains, and arthritis, and even cancer. I think letting it out verbally, it's finally taken its wear and tear on me, but I'm 62 now. You know, one sad, bad decision after another. So it's like, I'm a blamer. It's usually someone else's fault, right? But I also, am a distractor. Nothing is worth anything, which is stupid, because I think that's where that suicidal ideation came from when I was younger, is even if it looks good, it's a lie. It's a lie. You're not fooling me. It's a lie. And I wouldn't trust it. Wouldn't trust it. Because if you like me, if this is coming to me, then it must be bad. There must be something wrong with it. Yeah. Woo! Pretty bad. And you know why I'm sharing this with you? Some of you may be judging me going, oh man, I'm going to quit watching this woman's videos. She's nuts. But I'm going to tell you, I created this channel to lightheartedly sometimes help. Just to have someone during COVID to talk to. But also to let you know that it takes a lot of guts to be real. And if you're real, that's when I think there are some people you can help that nobody else can. When I finally got a therapist that had guts and who was real with me, flaws and all, she didn't have to be perfect. Sometimes she cussed, sometimes she was loud, and sometimes she shared a little bit too much, maybe. But I took her seriously, and I looked up to her because she was role modeling for me how hard sometimes it was. You know, when you grow up in a small community, you get inside scoops more than you do like a big city. Heck, you could see a therapist in a big city and you'd never know anything personal about them unless they broke the law. Something stupid. So that's why I'm sharing with you. I'm just helping you know that sometimes we lose people, sometimes people get sick in our lives, sometimes people change, sometimes they go off into a different relationship, but sometimes there are things, whatever they are, that happen to us when we're innocent. They just happen. Maybe not personally to us, but it's energy that's coming to us. And it's impacting us like you throw a rock in a pond. Well, I didn't try to make all those ripples, but they do. Words and actions matter. When they say, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Well, that's a dream, isn't it? Isn't that a dream? And wouldn't that be lovely? But it's not true. Words have power. Actions have power. And they can freaking hurt. They can really hurt. When you really wrap your mind around that and take responsibility for your part, for my part, it shifts. Sometimes we don't see how we come across. When I was a little girl, I was very skinny, very tiny. Oh, up until I was probably 17, 16. I had some other girlfriends that were the same size as me by the time I was 15. Other than that, and they finally helped me get some jeans that wouldn't be made fun of me, because I got bullied and picked on a lot when I was real little. I was shy, skinny, and a saltine cracker. Light hair, light skin, funky clothes that were mostly from stolen from Kmart. And I never got a chance to try them on before they were stolen. So they were always too short for my long, skinny little legs. And they were usually something so out of style. I mean, you got to understand, people were wearing, this was in the 60s, people were wearing bell-bottom jeans when I was in school I was born in 62, so late 60s, early 70s. Come on. And my mom would bring home these plaid pants that you would see like golfers wear for me to wear to school. It was so humiliating. And when I think about the anger I had at the kids who picked on me, you know, I can sit here and say, wow, what a vision. To have this funny looking girl walking in high water plaid pants and this, I don't know what kind of shirt. Those plaid pants stood out to me. I've never forgotten those. And to think, how could someone not tease me? You know, when kids are, their brains are so sad. I mean, God, kids, ugh. So my anger, self-righteous anger, was pretty twisted. I would think, how dare she at least not, why can't she at least steal me clothes that were in style, right? See, now I want you to see how twisted this is. This is where some people's trauma comes from, is because of how I think. I don't think in just a straight line. I'll think this option, this option, this option, this option. So I'm thinking, how dare she steal? How embarrassing. My mother stealing. What if she got caught? Where would I go then? What would happen to me? And I didn't think about, you know, all I know is Children and Family Services was really just starting to get off the ground back then. So I didn't know much about that. I just thought about, how am I going to pay rent in this house? Because I was always hearing about the rent. Always hearing about the bills. Because if I made a phone call back then, you were charged by the minute. So it was, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And so that turned into shame of my blood, my mother, my goddess. Then it's this humiliation of having to wear these stolen clothes. And then as soon as I see what she's offering me, I have to act like I appreciate it or else. I got my anxiety gene from my mother. That rage, that instant rage, that alcoholism, that anxiety gene looks a little different in a lot of us. So it's what helps pre-program you to lean towards certain directions. So she had rage as well. So that's, you'll see it in people who get drunk. Well, some people can do that sober when they've had enough neural pathway training to a certain direction. So this was a very complicated trauma trigger. Is I'm ashamed of you. I'm embarrassed of you. I'm disappointed in you. You must not love me in a beautiful way if you can be that ugly. To steal? And then why wouldn't you think more of me and steal me something at least nice? If you're going to risk that, why not steal me a cute pair of pants? And why, if I can't pretend to be really happy about it, Why would you bother beating me, smacking me in the face, pushing me down, and humiliating me because I don't look, pretend, act the right way? So then starts the acting, the pretending, the resentment building. Every time I have to act and pretend to be someone I'm not, because you will punish me for not living up. See, childhood trauma gets complicated. Ugh. Therefore, when we short circuit, the brain is really finding that self-righteous indignation in some of us. It can be exhausting. And I think it's so sweet. ABF said, hi, said one time you couldn't lose your, something about I was saying how I got mad or upset. And I always appreciate all of your support and kindness. I love getting emails from y'all. And I don't blame you for not leaving messages down there. I love messages just to say hello. They inspire me and encourage me. But I really appreciate the emails a lot, because then we can really get into the weeds. But the fact is that growing up is hard for some of us. And your story may not look like my story. But I'm sharing my story so you know how complicated healing can be. It was a complicated mess. And didn't get that insecure, scared, and angry overnight. That was a long, drawn-out process. That was years of isolation and pinpointed behavior. I lived most of up until I was 12, maybe 11, 12, out in the country most of the time, or in a house and not able to leave, or else. And if I did leave the house, it had to be for certain things, or else. And I had to always behave in a certain way, or there was always an or else. So when I lose my temper as an adult, it's not over this little situation. It's firing off different things. That's why I have some friends who know very little of my story, but they know enough to say, oh, you deserve so much better. Isn't that sweet? I think it's important to remember this. Someone shares part of their story with you, to understand that, like, I have this dear friend, just so sweet, kind, gentle. Everyone loves this guy. And he will not get a divorce, even though there's no love in his marriage on his behalf. And he doesn't want to live with his wife. But getting a divorce would be too messy. He'd rather pay the financial price and have what he has, because the other things in his life fall in line at least a little better. And when they get out of whack, it's easier for him to handle that. And he can even tap into it with the relationship he does have with his wife, and little conversations here and there, and some comfort here and there. And, the idea of wanting to be wanted, even though it's not by exactly, some people don't know how to have a normal relationship. It would be so much work that sometimes, it's settling for a certain lifestyle. It's completely worth it. When people say, oh, I'm settling for a Rolls Royce, what does that even mean? Right? So a Rolls Royce might look different to somebody else. My Rolls Royce looked like this. His Rolls Royce looked like that. Some people's Rolls Royce are not drivable, period. So there you go. What are you going to do? It's up to you. You don't have to do squat. It's not up to other people. I had a friend one time who said, she wasn't a friend, she's an acquaintance, a new acquaintance. This happened recently. I said, oh, I misspoke, I guess. But she's one of those feminists that jumps on anything that sounds like you have a controlling partner. And I said, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, my husband's got something going on and I need to be there for that. And she was like, well, he sounds controlling. How can you stand? And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I like my life. I'm not being controlled. Well, if any man, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. I want to be there for that because I know I'm helpful to him. Oh, my God. No. We've already gone through our hard times. This is much better than it was. Had it still been that bad, couples go through growing pains, especially when you have two people who have their own stuff. Chronic pain is a big deal. You can get PTSD from chronic pain. And when you start getting counseling and the right medication adjustment, life can improve enough. Then you got to start looking at yourself. Can I improve enough to help me feel comfortable? It's a big deal. At the end of the day, life is good. And when life isn't good, it's good enough. And you know what? That's good enough for me. All right, now, I guess I'm going to clean the floor so I don't push in the mud into my wood floor. I'm going to go clean up the mud. I'm going to change the cover on the sofa. I have another one to put on there. I'm going to change my bedding because of the way he was rooting around in the bed. It was so freaking cute. I wanted to beat my dog. No, not really. But, just, God, I got mad. Poor thing. He's feeling neglected. He hates being without me. So I'll have to wipe his feet off and let him in the house. And then he won't have to go back out till tonight. So I'm going to go get at it. And then I guess I'll just start my taxes next weekend. I don't want to do them anyway. I hate doing taxes. Matter of fact, you know what? If I just did a cookie cutter of what I did last year, change the numbers by like $15, it'd be about the same thing. My taxes are easy. I can't believe they charge me so much. I don't know. All right. Did I share too much? I don't know. I'm 62. What are you going to do to me? Fire me? I hope what you do is decide if there's anything here that was helpful to you and how you feel and how you struggle, how you fight. Yours might not be rage. Maybe it's sadness, and what you think is depression and suicidal ideation or feeling lost. Stop it. So sometimes you gotta figure out, what are your ghosts? What's your challenge? What's your project? And get to work on it. All right. Oh, my poor dog. All right. I love y'all. Bye for now.